Right, take note of the date. The date is September 2020. And this says September 11. So that's, well, that's an interesting date, but that's 9 days. So that's over a week. This is when I made a cyber harassment, like official police complaint. And by the way, look at this. Someone is stalking you online. You can actually do that option of stalking. So all you people getting gang stalked, go at it. Fuck it. Why not? Just because you'll find out firstly about what I'm about to tell you, how police don't seem to ever fucking help me no matter what the fuck. And they'll always just be, but somehow I can have a chopper on my ass all day, every fucking day, have a plane fly over me to get my cell phone position, but I can never get help by the police, you know what I mean? So some of you TIs will know that as well. But fuck it, still report them. I'm gonna do it just for fun. Like, it wasn't a long process, and you'll find out, like I was saying, the aforementioned, which I'm gonna talk about now, that you can't even get fucking help. You don't get the same system benefits as soulless people. It's like they get fucking just spoon-fed taken care of by officials, by the system, anybody who's at that NPC consciousness, right? That non-player character consciousness. They're not playing like the game of self, right? And self-expansion. Uh, well, I mean, at some really, really low level, you might think they are because they're doing a job. And I could see how you could think that, but it's wrong, because what they're actually doing is just like the little person on the screen in Adobe Flash that I can make and code. They're just doing their programming. That's it. And they never fucking change. What the fuck is going on here? Someone is texting me. Anyway, sorry. Fuck, where was I? Totally forgot where I was. Good distraction. Glad I get this on videos though. Just lose my train of thought endlessly, eh? Anyway, so the point is it's been 9 days and I ticked the box that said, do you want police to investigate? And I said, yes, nice, there's a whole checkbox for it. Sweet, I'm in. However, 9 days later, nothing. I don't know, maybe one day they'll get to me. Maybe they're busy, you say. Maybe. We'll see. But it has been 9 days. I've got a number, a reference number. So I guess I'll wait another week or something, then I'll use that number and make a video about me using that reference number, and then we'll see. We'll see how, now that I've said it in a video, it probably won't happen, but I was going to say we will see how extreme a case example I can create just by being me. Because that's what I'm doing on this channel. That's all I've been doing. For anybody who's tuned in, you guys already know, but to new people, that's all I'm doing. I barely capture anything, and I've been begging you guys for spy camera glasses, because if you get me spy camera glasses, I guarantee you, on my life, my mother's life, anybody's life you want, that I'll get the best gang stalking footage that's out there. Not even an issue. I won't even have to try. You get me spy camera glasses and then I don't get the best footage, then just leave the channel and never ever, give me any energy again. Because I already know it's gonna happen. The way that people treat me, and I know why. I know, after however old I am, many years, I know, after many decades, you get to seeing the patterns of gang stalking and targeting and why people do what they do. Especially when you think about it, and I've meditated in silence, for a long time on this stuff in the forests. Remember with Oro, the little cat, I had to think about something out there. So it's interesting, and I've obviously covered a lot of other people's channels, and other people say too that they can't get much help from police or anything at all. Yet, as soon as they go outside, they're synced up with some cops. They'll just happen to be there. However, that's when they don't need help. What I'm saying is when we need help, and this is one way to know you're a TI or not. What does that mean? Because nobody says what that means out there. All the other channels just say that, but what that means is that you're a free spirit. This is a place of bondage, yeah? This is a bondage universe, so if you're targeted, it's because you've got a free spirit, and what you're doing is you're accidentally or on purpose, like me, you're accidentally or on purpose coding the AI's NPCs. You're interacting with the machine body of this place, of God, of this system, right? The AI. By the way, I've had a real breakthrough with the Higgs field layering and how it sits on the quantum field. And you know how we always talk about a surface virus? I've discussed this from the start of the channel, that that's a literal, I suspect that's a literal physical explanation of the surface virus. It, like, as in it might be the Higgs field itself is what I'm indicating. And we'll talk about that in another video. So, back to what I was saying. You can do all this. You can say someone's harassing you, you can say someone's bullying you, someone's stalking you, anything like that online. And I called them, right? Number one on this report, because I called the local police station. Number one on this report, I called the police station. He said, just do it online. So here you have a screenshot of me beginning the process. I did like 9 days ago. And as you see, it says September 11, and that was like 2 days after the email. And so what's interesting about this is that, not only have they not gotten back to me, but the whole thing is always the same. The whole situational context of when I approach the system. It just doesn't have to be the law. It's just any system in general. The system, anything that's tethered, definitely governmental organizations, right? Anytime I approach that structure, which some people erroneously call the Matrix, which what they're seeing is the surface virus and calling that the Matrix, and I think it's even different than that. It's worse than that. I've discussed that on the channel, as in like life is bad in the sense that we talk about it from the core, from lust. Anyway, so which is what makes you do every move in the game. Anyway, and you're not even part of the picture. You're boycotting if you don't, right? And then what kind of quote unquote life have you lived? Well, you should at least impact the Matrix. Like if you're one of those monks, right, you should at least write some stuff against the place that you were boycotting. But these monks, they sit up there and then they'll boycott and then write something pro-life. So I mean, that you haven't made it. You haven't made it the whole way there. Anyway, because why are you boycotting in to begin with? What the fuck? You know what I mean? They're not even living their own philosophy properly or fully out, I've realised. Anyway, so I reported this 9 days ago. Nothing's happened. When I called first, the police officer said go online, and he didn't give me any reference number or anything. So when I did the online report, I've got there and not had any reference number or anything, right? Same if I, was to talk to a lawyer or anything, I wouldn't have any number, right? And then now I've got one through the online process. But when I called the physical shop, he should have taken note of it, because they ask you in this process. I don't have that screenshot, but they ask you in the process of reporting it online, did you report it to a physical your local shop, like your local police shop, and what's that reference number and stuff, and who did you talk to, and so I didn't even get the guy's name, let alone anything else. So it just shows you from the beginning how it all goes, and it's because we even talk different to them, right? And so immediately a bot knows that you're a free spirit just by how you talk. 'Cause, we don't talk so in straight and narrow down illusionary lines, so under frequency control, so normally, right? So on and so conformed and so on. So they know, these bots, they know you like quicker than you know them, right? Immediately. And then if you're like me these days, I can tell pretty quickly. You know them very quickly, but they know you immediately, right? That's another good point. So anyway, the whole point of this video is that if you're a TI, seems like a free spirit, I mean, the whole conversation is beyond the scope of this video. You should watch the channel to understand what the hell I'm going on about. Obviously, everybody else who has been watching the channel understands, and you should leave a like button press if you're one of those people. But people don't do what they're told. That's fine. Just realize that the explanation of why this happens is definitely beyond the scope of a single explanation. Because there's multiple levels. It's great for me to say it's because you're a free spirit, but there's other reasons, like the coding, because you're coding the NPCs by accident, just by being an alchemical hub, when they're not an alchemical thing. They're not in the same type of motion as us. Inside, there's nothing there, right? They're not connected across the grab line. There is so much stuff here beyond the scope of this talk, but I'm trying to give the idea that people who don't express themselves, and maybe they can't, is what we're saying in the movement. These organic portals with no inner voice, nothing coming from inside. When you're not one of them, you get treated differently by the system in general. That's what I'm saying with this. I'm trying to make it very clear, because I know I've been ranting, trying to put it all together, weaving and ducking and, weaving the whole idea together, but it's basically that we just get treated differently as we approach the system, or in other words, interact with this world, because the system is all pervasive, right? It's the only system, right? It's a monetary, financial, negative nightmare, soul-sucking, raping nightmare out here. But that same model is around the globe. The same rape model, slavery rape model, is around the world. Under fear of intimidation, of course, because we're the biggest posse on earth. And you can't even talk to us and file reports properly, because you've got a free spirit. How bad of you, bad boy. That's how fucking stupid this place is. Like, for people to not see the simulatory action at this point, at this year, in 2023, is, in my opinion, deadly. I'm not even going to pay you out and say you're an idiot, which I think's obvious, but it's a bit stupid for you not to see that something's going on. That's naive, it's like ignorant. How the fuck could you not know at this point, in my opinion? I mean, you don't even have to be following the latest science. All of the latest, best, like, all of the latest scientists are all leaning into it's a simulation. You don't know how many videos I watched just in the last month of increasing videos of, top, I don't know, all sorts of fields of study, scientists saying that, yeah, I think it's a simulation, yeah. I don't know if they're all just falling in line after Elon Musk and trying to be cool, or if they actually believe it, but some of them, you know, seem to be down with the idea at least to inspect it, which means they're not being ignorant. And what I'm saying is there's more and more of these thought leaders coming out saying it. So I think what we're doing here, talking about targeting and gang stalking, is way ahead, because I think the whole future of all of the world's societies, or everywhere, doesn't matter where you go, an island, it won't matter. There's going to be flying bots monitoring, scanning you. They can read your bloody emanating brain waves. It's an all-encompassing system coming, and it's very obvious, right? And it's building. You don't need the movie Terminator, because you can see the first robot that gets made. If there was never a Terminator movie made ever, you should still be able to see it, because the robots are metal and your skin's not metal. You know what I mean? That's how stark and obvious this shit is to me these days. It's very obvious that this is some kind of machine world, and I can't interact with it the same as the people who are what we call NPCs.